Hey, you guys. Oh, sorry, I'm bumping stuff. Welcome to today's live stream. I'm going to try to look in the camera, but it's also tricky because I'm trying to make sure everything looks right in my screen. So, oh, yeah, you can totally see my light. Let me push that back. I wanted to get some more light today. So, sorry about that. Anyway, how are you guys? How is everyone feeling today? What are you up to? I'm going to look over here and just make sure that this live stream is up and working. Sorry, this is kind of annoying. I just want to make sure. Oh, there we go. So we are live. We are good. Okay. If you wouldn't mind, if you're here in the comments, just drop me a hello and maybe where you're from or what you're doing tonight, just so I can see that people are on and this is working well. From my end, it looks like it's working well. And I'm really sorry if you can hear my air conditioner. It just went on, of course, like right as I'm starting all of this. Oh, there we go. I'm kind of messing around with some of the theme stuff. I'm making, let's see. So I'm testing out StreamYard, as you guys can see up here. I'm testing this out to see if I like it. If I like it, then I will go ahead and sign up for this and we'll use it on all of our live streams. Okay, so I wanted to hop in today to something that I've been researching again. One thing that I kind of regret doing, I guess, I don't know if it's a regret, but I just sort of am like, I wish I would have known more, or I wish I would have done more research, is on non-toxic living and how it plays a role with fertility. And I actually came across an article today that it's entitled Growing Evidence Shows, oops, hold on, where'd it go? Growing Evidence Shows Endocrine Disrupting Chemicals Drive Obesity, Infertility, and Diabetes. So anyway, oh, you guys are on here, sweet. Oh, there we go. Okay, sorry, messing around with this. It's not working well. Anyway, so sorry, I can't really see my comments right now. But one thing I wish I would have learned a little bit more before going into our IVF cycle was more about how, a non-toxic life, and I don't even really know how to define that, to be honest. But just living a greener life how that would play a role in your fertility and your fertility treatments like IVF. So there's not a ton of evidence that I can see out there. There's not a ton of studies done. However, there are some, like that article says, growing evidence. There's some growing evidence out there that those, chemicals, there's some chemicals out there that we use in our everyday life that contribute to endometriosis. And what was the other one they were saying? Let me just double check what the other one. I saw endometriosis was one of them. There's some links for that too. And hold on, what was the other one? I think endometriosis just stood out to me because that's what my doctor says maybe I have. But if you're in the endometriosis and PCOS, I guess. So I know a lot of people in the infertility community, they do have, they do experience PCOS. So super weird, guys. Sorry. Thanks for being patient with me. Gonna go ahead and turn that Anyway, so yeah, I just wondered what your guys' thoughts were on non-toxic living. If you've done IVF, or if you're doing IVF, have you started kind of eliminating some toxins out of your diet or environment? I just am curious. I want to know what your feelings are on that topic. Oh, let me turn these off. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but my notifications are coming through. Sorry, I should have checked that before. I'm such a noob. But anyway, so yeah, let me know. What are your thoughts on non-toxic living, and what have you experienced? Do you feel like it plays a role in fertility? And anywho, okay, so I'm seeing some comments come through. Hi guys. And oh, okay, Faith in Waiting. She's almost ready for her transfer cycle. I'm so excited for you. I always tell people, just really baby yourself and take care of yourself, because that's a big deal. Transfer is a huge deal, and really just take time to take care of yourself. Oh my gosh, another transfer coming up next Friday. So exciting. That's a very special day, you guys. I'm sending you all of the good vibes and the baby dust that I can. And then, okay, a comment here. I haven't had coffee or soda since January. I miss coffee so much. LOL. Yeah. I know a lot of people avoid coffee and caffeine in general when they are doing IVF, which is probably, I don't think it can hurt, right? My doctor didn't, oh no, he did say to avoid caffeine, but at that time I wasn't really drinking any caffeine. I don't drink a ton of caffeine now even, but I do take like a pre-workout sometimes, and I do drink yerba mate sometimes as well. So just a little bit of caffeine. I don't really drink soda. I think soda is a good thing to get out of your diet no matter what, just because there's really no one that says soda is good for you. So if you can get it out of your diet, I would say that's probably a good idea. I do get a lot of questions about foods you can eat to support fertility, or like to support a successful IVF cycle. And I am like never comfortable giving that advice because I don't know. And it's, there's just, I don't think there's a lot you can do that way once you're like in the IVF cycle. So that's why I'm bringing this question up now, because I'm like, well, I don't think that there's a lot you can do once you've like already started IVF. Maybe avoiding caffeine might be good, but and I did take some supplements and stuff, but what I'm saying is I think it's probably best to prep months before. So as Eric and I look to the future for when we'll probably do another frozen embryo transfer, I was researching a little bit about, like what should I be doing now to prep for, a successful transfer, hopefully another successful transfer on the first go, because we got really lucky that way with not having to do multiple rounds. So I'm just really crossing my fingers, hoping that next time we do IVF, or it's just really frozen embryo transfer. Next time we do that, we won't have to go through too much. We don't have to do too many cycles, just one and done. Just kidding. Anyway, okay, so I did want to read, so you guys just feel free to comment down below any of, any questions, or, bring up anything that you want about fertility and non-toxic living, because I do want to talk more about that and just see what you guys think about it, because my overall feeling was like, well, it's not going to do too much once you're already in IVF, like during IVF or an IUI or whatever, but I think it could really help like in months before, if your diet is sort of cleaned up and stuff. And by that, I just mean, like not drinking soda, a lot of sugar, processed foods, the whole thing. Like we all basically know how to eat healthy. And then there's also the idea of getting rid of like the toxins around you. Like, don't think this black, it's a black cherry Merlot Bath and Body candle. Smells delicious, but I don't think that that is a very, I don't know. I don't think it's kosher for, is that the word? I don't know, for non-toxic life. So that's something I would consider not having in my home, right? I don't know, switching it out for a better candle source. If you know a better candle source that is like essential oils or what are good candles? Like, are they made of soy, beeswax? I don't know. It's things like that. That's what I want to start researching more about. I used to know a lot more about this when I worked at a health food store for years and years, but I haven't been in that industry necessarily for like 5 years, 4 years. So I'm kind of not as in the know as I used to be. But there's a lot you can learn online. But then at the same time, it's like, what about, I don't know, I feel like what's really the truth? I don't know. So I'm trying to find studies. So that's what I've been researching lately. Anywho, all that to say, I'm going to start reading a couple stories, some interesting IVF and fertility related stories that people have put in or they've submitted through the form. And I will add the form to the comments or the description box of this stream, probably after the stream before it goes like live. And you guys can watch the replay, but it should be linked in the description box below. So you guys can submit your stories there and we can chat about them. And I do it anonymously unless you ask me to mention your name, but I otherwise will not mention your name. Okay. So it looks like comments are a little bit delayed from YouTube versus StreamYard. I don't know what the deal is with that. It's understandable, I guess. But okay, so let's look up the stories. And sorry if I should probably put this down here so I'm not moving the table. Oh, my AC just turned off. Okay. So this first story, it was really interesting. And oops, hold on. Okay, let's see here. Individual. It's an interesting story, so I thought I would share it with you guys. And it's not one that I have really come across before, so I thought it was interesting. Like I said, so let's go ahead and read that. Oh, you know what? First, I wanted to talk about, or just make sure I'm not missing any comments. Okay, so Denise says, fertility is tricky. My first happened easily without trying. Could not get pregnant with my second for many years and did IVF successfully. Was not trying for a third and it just happened. Such a shock. Sorry, you guys, my contact is like really sticking to my eyeball. I know fertility is very, very tricky. Like you can't really explain it. That's why so many people are undiagnosed. And I don't know, it's so interesting. But I'm glad that you were able to have a couple of your babies just naturally, just like that. That's awesome. But then at the same time, so it's interesting because you have a perspective of somebody that had to go through all of the trying and the hardship of IVF and all that. But you also know what it's like to just get pregnant really easily. K Rose 1233. She says she talked to the clinic about baby number 2 and they have a plan all set. That's exciting. Super exciting. Oh my goodness. Baby number 2, guys. I'm not going to say I'm ready because I'm not ready to be pregnant. And I've told you guys that. So maybe one day I will be ready to be pregnant again. I think it's just, and I've told you guys as well that I'm not ready to jump back into fertility treatments where I'm vulnerable to, I'm putting myself in a more vulnerable state to possibly being disappointed with outcomes I'm not happy with, like if we have an unsuccessful transfer and all that stuff. So I'm just not ready for that yet. I haven't had soda in going on 3 years. I took coffee out of my diet about 4 months ago. Nice. Do you feel like, how do you feel? This is Faith in Waiting, her comment. How do you feel since you've done that? She's lost 106 pounds before starting IVF, and I'm so glad I did it. We're only male factor, but I had to get healthy for our baby. Yeah, I think you're going to be really, really happy. I mean, it sounds like you're already really happy that you did that. So good job. That's awesome. And that sounds like really hard to just like not have, coffee and soda. Did you just go cold turkey and cut those things out? Because if so, that's pretty amazing. All right. Like I said, back to this story. And again, this is one that I haven't come across a story like this, and I did think it was very interesting. So I'm going to share it with you guys. So she says, I am a single mother by choice. I haven't yet found my person, but I knew deep down in my soul that I wanted more than anything to be a mom. I've always had trouble with my periods, and from family history, I knew it probably wasn't going to be easy. I first start home insemination back in 2016. I started to track my ovulation. I would get multiple positive ovulation tests throughout my cycle. I wasn't sure what that meant. I was hopeful that it was a good thing. I tried once every 3 months once I had the money saved up for a vial to be sent to me. After a year of on and off trying, 2 miscarriages, chemical pregnancies. Sorry guys, my contacts, seriously. Oh, at the end of the day, they do this if I stare at the screen too long. I decided to go to my doctor. I was super embarrassed about being a single mom by choice because I hadn't heard anything about it before. Really. So I lied and said that my girlfriend and I wanted to get pregnant. We were trying at home and it wasn't successful yet. So she sent me on my way with letrozole prescription. Another year went by and I just knew that I couldn't afford to go to a fertility clinic. So I decided to take a break for a while. Then in 2018, I finally decided to check out a fertility center after finding my channel. So if you guys are familiar with my story, looks like she went to the same fertility center as I did. So I made the appointment. I was so scared. I don't know why. I felt like if someone saw me go there, they would think all sorts of things about me. My consultation came and I spoke to my doctor. She told me what the plan was and I got excited. Then she showed me the cost. My heart sank. How could I afford all of this? After my consultation, I skipped a few cycles. Then I found out that my insurance at least covers diagnostic for infertility. So I started the testing process. I had an ultrasound and she showed my chocolate chip cookie ovaries. So PCOS. Next step was the dye ultrasound, the HCG. I think we're all pretty familiar with that. If you're not familiar with that, they shoot dye into your uterus and it goes into your fallopian tubes to see if they are open and capable of doing their thing. I don't know if this is normal, but it was the most painful thing I've ever done. Yeah, it was pretty painful for me as well. What do you guys think? I'm going to stop right there because I wanted to ask about that. I hear so many different things, and let me tell you that I was so scared before my HCG test because I heard so many horror stories about how scary and how painful it was. And anyway, I was told to take, I think, a few ibuprofen before the procedure. And I remember part of it, there was like a good 3 to 5 seconds of the procedure that was like, oh my gosh, maybe even longer, like 10 seconds, that I was like, oh my gosh, that hurts. And I don't have a good pain tolerance. So I don't know, maybe that was my experience with it. I wonder what, I don't know, did you guys have a painful HCG experience? And I don't want to scare anyone who hasn't had one yet. You know, like we all had to do it. It sucks, but you can do it. And I'm sending you love. If you need to go do an HCG and sometime soon, you got this. You can do it. Trust me, I am the worst with pain and any sort of like invasive procedure. Okay. You're amazing and we love you. When you're ready for baby number 2, we'll all be here waiting and praying. Thank you so much, Kaylee. You're the sweetest. Yeah, I would very much appreciate all of the prayers and you guys rooting us on. Like I'm always rooting you guys on. I don't know. I just want everyone to be able to experience a successful fertility treatment or pregnancy, you know, take home baby. I want that for everyone that is wanting that. Does IVF treatment and meds cause weight gain? Not always. Yeah, Christina says not always. It didn't for me. Christina, you are lucky. No, I don't know if you're lucky, but that's awesome that it didn't cause weight gain for you. It did cause weight gain for me. I'm currently doing a 90-day fitness journey here on my YouTube channel. Every Sunday at 10 a.m. I'll check in with you guys about how that's going. But yeah, I'm trying to lose the 10 pounds I gained from IVF. And I'm down, like I've already lost 3 in the past 3 weeks, which is good. I wanted to lose about a pound to a pound and a half every week was kind of my goal. But anyway, I'm happy with that. Okay, so right, let's go back to the story. So she was at the HCG. That's the part we left off, right? Okay, so she doesn't know if this is normal, but it was the most painful thing she's ever done. And we talked about that. That actually is, I think, pretty normal for that procedure to be painful, but I don't want to scare anyone that it needs to do it still. You got this. Okay. She says the liquid wasn't coming out of the tube, so they waited longer than normal until it finally shot out the other side. I almost passed out. I was in so much pain. Wow. Luckily, it was pretty quick, but I hope I never have to do that again. Everything with the dye test and my blood work came back normal. So she wrote up my plan, and in January of 2019, I had my first IUI on letrozole. I only produced 1 good egg, but 1 is a chance. And I had my IUI 2 weeks later, the night before the blood test. My period came, and I was so devastated. We all know that feeling. It's devastating for sure after fertility treatment. I wasn't even sure I wanted to try again. I decided to give it 1 more chance. If it didn't work this time, then I knew it wasn't meant to be right now. For my second IUI, they switched me to Clomid, which had me produce 3 good eggs. Wow. For those of you who aren't familiar with IUI, if you produce, more than 1 egg, that's pretty good because, there's a chance they could all fertilize from what I know. She also doubled my shot. Wait, hold on. She also doubled my shot that makes me ovulate, wanting all 3 eggs to drop. Ow. Which, side note, also made me nervous because I am a triplet. What? She's a triplet. That's crazy. I just can imagine triplets. On February 8th, she went in of 2019, she went in for an IUI. This was her second IUI, and she decided this time that she wanted to test out the trigger shot. So I guess she didn't use a trigger shot in the first IUI. So every day I took a pregnancy test and watched it fade. Then on 8 DPO, I said, okay, this will be my last one until the blood test. Since the day before she was barely there. I took the test and it got darker just slightly, not enough to get my hopes up, but I thought maybe. The next day it was darker and darker. I got my blood test and the number came back in the mid 100s. It made me nervous reading about how high some people's were, but my baby boy decided to stick around. Today he's 9 months old and I have a consultation in a few weeks to see what the process is for baby number 2. That is awesome. Okay, so this is rare in so many ways. I mean, she's a single mom by choice, which that is rare. And I think that's pretty bomb. I think that I'm very impressed with you that you are rocking that. Of course, I watched sort of this like online YouTube discussion about single mother. It wasn't all about single mothers by choice, but there were a couple that of women that were talking about being single moms by choice and using fertility treatments because they were just whatever a little older or you know, more focused on their career at that time and they just couldn't find their person or whatever. So they were single by choice, single mothers by choice, which I thought was very interesting. They seem to be rocking it, but I can imagine it's still going to be very hard to raise child but as a single parent. But doesn't mean it's not possible and your child can't still completely thrive and have a wonderful life. And then, the other thing that I was thinking, she got pregnant through an IUI, which that just, I've told you guys on one of these lives before, that just doesn't happen. It really doesn't. Not that I just don't hear about it, okay? It happens. I know it happens, but I just don't hear about it a lot. So this was very refreshing to have somebody talk about how it worked. An IUI worked for them. That's awesome. Okay, so Lindsay says, I have my first FET in 8 days. Oops. I have my first FET in 8 days. Do you have any advice? Oh, look at that. That's neat. So, yeah, I mean, I do, but I don't know how much I don't know if it's the advice you're looking for, but basically it's just to relax as much as you possibly can. And I know with infertility struggles, it's so annoying when people tell you to relax, but coming from somebody who's been there, maybe don't think of it as relax, but take care of yourself. So do something every single day for yourself, whatever that is, to just really like help you decompress and get your mind. I know your mind's not going to be able to I can't say like get your mind off your FET and, your beta, your upcoming beta or whatever. That's not what I'm trying to say at all because I know that's pretty much impossible. But just do something for yourself to help you kind of tune the world out and something you really enjoy. Some things that I did was I watched Netflix, which is an easy thing. I also took a bath pretty much every day because I love taking baths. And I remember I think every day I did something like one day I'd paint my nails, the next day I did a face mask, the next day, it was like little self-care things every day that I did. And then I also let myself eat some really yummy things that I've been wanting to eat and kind of took advantage of people that were like, can I bring you something? And I was like, sure, I would love, can you get me dinner or whatever? I don't know. I just felt like people really do want to help. And so if you have anyone reaching out to you, just say, yeah, you could bring me a milkshake, something like that. And then I also have advice to eat McDonald's French fries after your transfer because that's a thing. Guys, I did it. I totally I would never say that that's what got me pregnant, but that's like a little old wives' tale about your transfer that you should eat McDonald's fries, which they tasted delicious. And that could be why I craved McDonald's. No, it's probably not, but I craved McDonald's throughout my entire pregnancy. So yeah, not good. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. So Christina said she was talking about IVF treatments and making her gain weight. And she said it didn't make her gain weight, but she says I should clarify. Here, I'll show this one. I should say though, I didn't do a retrieval. We did embryo adoption. Yeah, so I'm not sure, like, I'm not a doctor and I'm sure everyone's body's different, but I gained weight during stims. So the first part of, so when I started IVF in January 2018, I was 118 and then I got up to 128 and I never got down. And then when I got pregnant, I gained literally like 50 pounds. And then I lost that within the first 6 to 8 months. Or not the first, but 6 to 8 months postpartum. And then I have just stuck around 128. There was a moment where I dropped. I've talked about this in my fitness journey, but in March, I was not running as much and I dropped to about 122. So I was really close to my IVF, pre-IVF weight, which was 118. And then I started running a lot and that always makes me gain weight because I think I just eat a lot. But I am 5'2", you guys. So I'm kind of short. And so I'm in like I wouldn't say I'm overweight at all, but I'm definitely healthy weight and I can lose 10 pounds just fine and still be in a healthy weight. Okay. Okay, let me just make sure. Anyway, so what do you guys think about that story? About doing an IVF cycle, or I guess she did an IUI, but fertility treatments as a single mom. I guess I think it would be really hard. I hope that she has support to help her through like when she does those fertility treatments and stuff. But I would think I would definitely do that if I was older and stuff. I think I would really, I don't know, I might want to adopt. I don't know what I would do, but I think I would really, really want kids, at least a kid, if I was single. So I just haven't ever really thought of that, but I just thought that story was really interesting, and I thought maybe that could speak to somebody else who might be kind of in the same, a similar situation, to know that that's definitely an option. A lot of people do that. So yeah, it always makes me think of Baby Mama though, the movie, it's a funny one, but yeah. Yes, Lindsay, go get those McDonald's fries. You will be happy you did because they are salty and delicious. I'm not a big McDonald's fan, to be honest, you guys, except for when I'm pregnant, hence the 50 pounds. But I do like their fries. They are really salty and yummy. Okay, so guys, I plan on just doing 30 minutes tonight. So I really appreciate you guys being here with me. Thank you so much. I plan on doing these every other week. If you have any topics you'd like to chat about, that's why I like live streams, because then we are able to sort of chat, and I love connecting with you guys. So if you have any topics that you would like to chat about in these live streams, let me know in the comments below this video. Like I said, I will put the form so that you can submit your IVF story, your infertility story, or if you know of someone that would like to get their story out there, so people can connect and we can support each other, then you can go to the link in the description box below. And I also have it on my Instagram as well, which is my Instagram handle is just Chelsea Hope, and you can find it in the link in my bio, the form to fill that out. So anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks again, you guys, so much for being here with me tonight. Hope you have a lovely day. And I keep thinking I need some sort of like send off. I usually just open my videos with, hey, you guys. And then I'm like, I'll see you in my next video. Bye. But I need like a good stuff. So I'll have to come up with something. Anyway, thanks again, you guys. And I will catch you in my next video. Bye.